Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today in deck number 720, we're going to talk about Sythis the Harvest Hand. We get an honest-to-goodness Enchantress Commander. I love the fact that that Sythis is also an enchantment creature. 1-2, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, gain a life, draw a card. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward as to what we're doing. So, and we got a lot of cards actually in this set that are going to help out quite a bit. We got the Sanctum Weaver, adding X mana of any one color where X is the number of enchantments you control. That is an insane amount of mana. And then we have Resurgent Belief, the suspend that returns all your enchantments back, just in case something bad happened to them. And a reprint of the Enchantress's Presence. Just an enchantment version of it. And of course, we have the Mesa Enchantress, Verduran Enchantress, Setessan Champion, Eidolon of Blossoms. Lots of. We have one in the command zone, but when you can start playing an enchantment and drawing 2, 3, 4 cards, it's really good. Herald of the Pantheon, gaining life and costing less. Then, of course, Sigil of the Empty Throne, getting the 4/4 angels every time we cast an enchantment. So that is, in and of itself, is amazing. We also got a reprint of Sterling Grove. Your other enchantments have Shroud, and then we have Greater Aromancy that says the same thing. I was lucky enough, I played this deck, I was lucky enough to be able to turn 3 1 and turn 2 1, turn 3 the other, and then I was pretty good shape. That was a. But let's get to our ramp, shall we? We're drawing a ton of cards, so we've got to have some ramp. Now, I'll go through what's not enchantments. The Celestia Signet, Key Rune, Cluestone, Locket, and then Thought Vessel, because I've got the Reliquary Tower, and believe it or not, 2 max hand sizes. That was almost not enough. 1 mana elf, and then we have a rampant growth. Then we have the enchantments. Wild growth. I know Utopia Sprawl is popular. I'm also using Fertile Ground, Colony Heart. But we also got another printing of Mirari's Wake, which is just a beautiful card. Pumps up your creatures, doubles your mana. It's an enchantment, so it procs those triggers. The deck has, I want to say, 34 enchantments, not counting the enchantment creatures, so it's quite a bit. A little bit of Zendikar Resurgent, Elemental Bond will work well with that Angel Maker, and then the Rites of Flourishing, double meat, double cheese. Now, let's go ahead and do this. Abiding Grace is a new card. At the beginning of your end step, you choose 1. You get to gain 1 life, whoop-de-doo, or return target creature card with mana value 1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, you saw the Llanowar Elf. That's not exactly, stellar. But I do have a Veteran Explorer. So, yeah. And then I have a Spore Frog, which is probably the better option of the two if we have it. Finally get to play with Calyx. It is the enchantment planeswalker. It's does all the enchantment things that we want to do. So, I only have 2 creatures in here that are not enchantments. The Archon of Sun's Grace kind of works as a smaller Sigil of the Empty Throne, but in this case, you have 2/2 Pegasus. You have a Maya Enchantress getting +1/+1 for each enchantment on the battlefield is kind of bonkers. We gotta work out a way to give her trample, so that's why I'm playing with Rancor. Also, Rancor goes back to your hand if something happens to the creature that's wearing it. So But then our enchantment creatures, I really like having first strike when nobody else has it, so that's pretty decent. Destiny Spinner. This is huge because can't be countered. That's big. And also, you can turn your lands into giant beaters. Nylea's Colossus, doubling the power and toughness. A new one, the Nykthos Paragon. Whenever you gain life, you may put that many 1/1 counters on each creature you control. There's some incidental life gain in there. The Pegasus are going to have life link. You know. And then Heliod, God of the Sun. Passing out the vigilance and making things and being a big beater yourself. So let's look at our enchantments, shall we? Had to put Ancestral Mask in there because that becomes a problem. The Ghostly Prison is going to help keep people off of us. Ethereal Armor, I could not get my hands on an All That Glitters. It should be in here as well if you've got one, run it. Luminarch Ascension's another Angel Maker, great in multiplayer. If you can table this on turn 2, it is hard to overcome. Sphere of Safety, totally worth the 5 mana. It's a super Ghostly Prison. The Battle Mastery, giving something double strike. Solitary Confinement is a really, really great card here. You have to discard a card every turn, and you skip your draw phase. You have Shroud, and you can't take damage. You can still lose life, but you can't take damage, and you have Shroud. I noticed, because I did draw it, it was not an issue discarding that card, because every time I was playing an enchantment, I was drawing 3 or 4 cards, so plenty of fodder to discard of the Solitary Confinement. Great card. Spear of Heliod, just an anthem. And then, you can pop creatures that hurt you. The Dictate of Heliod, another anthem with flash. Story Circle, it seems like there's always a common color at the table that you really need protection from. Revelation, no secrets. I want to see all the hands, so I know exactly what counters are out there. And then Force of Virtue is a potentially free anthem. And then I have Choke, because blue, that's why. Now, for our removal, we'll go through the enchantment, the removal that is enchantments. We have Vow of Wildness. Of course, if it's not attacking me, it's not my problem. Soul Snare. Yeah, exiling an attacking creature. Lignify. I love the enchantments that are on the board but useless. Because that way, if your opponents have built their deck around their commander, and you kill their commander, it just goes back to the zone they played again. You haven't done a whole lot. But if you can Lignify it or Darksteel Mutate it, it is still on the board. It's still alive, but it's useless to them. Have Seal of Cleansing as our Disenchant variant. We're also running Disenchant, don't get me wrong, but Vow of Duty. Captured by Legax. I figure this was new. I'll try it. Maybe not. I don't know. Oblivion Ring's always good. Soul Tithe, just because it's cheap. And then a Return to Nature and a Sword to Plowshare I felt was necessary as well. And that brings us to our non-basics, got a Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Tranquil Expanse, Greypelt Refuge, Celestia Guildgate, Crows and Verge, a little bit of ramp going. Blossoming Sands, those ones that gain you a life are better in this deck than you would think they are. The Vivid Grove, Temple of Plenty, and lastly, our new cycle of artifact duels that are indestructible, the Thornglint Bridge. So that is the Sythis, the Harvest hand. Enchantress deck. I love those art cards because I put it on the back. Any Star Trek fans? Almost like mud? Anyway. But that is what we have got for today. Excited to get these Modern Horizons ones done. Because you know what? That next set's coming. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of legends in it. So we'll put 720 on the wall and continue going on. I'm obviously, you can tell I've been doing quite a bit of recording this morning. So I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, I think we're going to shuffle and cut.